Good morning. Hi, everyone. Wow, it is humid here. Can we tell? You can always tell how humid it is by the size of my hair. Can we just be honest about that? Hello and welcome to August's Coffee with Coach. I'm thrilled you're here. We are going to be doing some tough love today. Yep, and I even I'm going to call this Sarah's version of the power of now. If you are here, please say hello and let me know. Between the haircut and the humidity, it's a big hair day. It's like that episode of Friends, right? Or Monica's hair's huge. Yeah, that's me. You're welcome. All right, I'm pulling an angel card for us. Please say hi. I see you guys on. Make sure you say hi so I can say hello back. We are going to be talking about the power of now. Now, August is the time when, as a business owner, you'll notice people start purchasing again. They all ran away in June and July. We don't know where everyone goes, but they ran away. And they'll start coming back in August. It's a really interesting phenomenon. And that is because September is the new January. I've been saying that for years, so maybe it's not so new. It's the sort of new January. But it's when people realize they can come back to work, they can get organized, people start like creating health plan, like all the stuff goes bananas. And by the way, we're opening up some really cool offers in September. If you've wanted to work with me, we are going to be talking about those. And mark your calendars because you guys are here. You're going to hear it first. I'm doing a VIP half day in August. You're welcome. You want the date? I know you probably do. Let me check. You heard it here first, beautiful people. It will be Thursday, August 29th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. A VIP CEO day with me. We're going to be talking about all the gooey goodness. It's coming out in September, and we are going to get you set up for Q4. Yeah, the big one. I know. You're welcome. All right, let's funny. So today we're talking about the power of now, as you guessed by the title of August's Coffee with Coach. Yeah. And it's funny because I pulled, can you see it? Let's see if you can see it. The heart chakra. Do you see that there? Yeah, baby. So we're talking about being present and we got the heart chakra. I love it. So love is the heart of the matter. Your heart is the center within your physical being attuned most to love. It's safe for you to love and be loved with an open heart. And we stand by with perfect protection and guidance. I love angel cards. Isn't it so fun? I know, right? So fun. So we need to talk about, I think, using our hearts a little bit more. Yeah. Especially in August, because this is like a time. So many of us who run businesses, you can start to get the like a little bit, it's this push-pull moment. And this is so perfect. This is why I chose the power of now for August, because it's a push-pull moment where you want to push. You want to strive towards, you can start to feel the fall push that's going to lead us into the year-end push. As business owners, this is when most people make the most money. And you can start to kind of feel the buzz of it coming back. But at the same time, the pull part where you want to pull back, so you're pushing forward towards the holiday season, right? But where you want to fall back and pull is like, but it's not over yet. I want to still be on vacation. Okay. So this is where we find ourselves stuck. And I want to teach you guys today about focusing on what you can be doing right now, as opposed to what you can make plans for or think about or imagine. Okay. And this is going to be built on, obviously, the title of today's Coffee with Coach gave it away, but obviously the power of this moment. So if you make plans and you set goals, when do you affect those? Right now. When do you take action on those? Right now. And if you're planning them and you're in a moment of planning, when are you planning for them? Right now. There's only one moment you can ever take action, and it's right now. And I like to let that sink in for just a second. The only time you can take action is right now. There's no other moment, no other time than the eternal, infinite now. Oh, and now it's right now. And now, right. Okay. You got it. So what is the number one block for most human beings in having the life that they want? And I know that is a huge freaking statement. You're like, Sarah, there can't be just one block. There are many blocks, but the number one block, the one that really knocks us all around like bonkers, remembering the past I'm thinking, oh, I liked yesterday so much better than today. I liked last month. Wasn't last year fantastic? You know what I really love? Do you remember when we used to be able to go on airplanes and have a good time? Yeah, that's a real one, right? Like, do you remember when we used to actually have our friends' telephone numbers memorized? You remember that, right? And you start thinking about that. And when you start thinking about that, is that great? Is that fun? Absolutely. But are you currently taking action? Are you currently understanding what this moment is bringing you? No, it's not possible. Let's say you're thinking about the future in the United States. It happens to be the election. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, there's November. And then what happens? And everybody's kind of focused on that. Or let me focus on what's going to happen with my kids. Or let me focus on what I'm doing on that vacation next week. And you're like going through all this. And that can either be anxiety or projection or the belief that tomorrow will be better than today. Now, we like that belief. It's good and it's positive, but are you affecting it right now? Or are you daydreaming? Crazy, right? Now, daydreaming is important, planning is important, but when are you doing those things? Right. Good job. You guys all get gold stickers because you knew the answer. Yes, that's exactly right. We're doing it right now. Yeah. Okay. I love it. I love it. Okay. So when we are avoiding reality, right, when we're pulling ourselves out of right now, whether it's to daydream about the past, envision a new future, feel anxious about a new future, to feel nostalgic about what has happened in the past, what are you giving up? What is the opportunity cost of pulling yourself out of reality? What is the opportunity cost of pretending that right now isn't the actual time that you have to make a difference? What is the opportunity cost of that? And if we actually sit down and notice, it's humongous. It's huge. And I please don't hear when I say this is the number one block to having the life you want. Don't hear that you can't relax or that you can't daydream. You just want to do those things with intention. There's nothing worse. How many have done it? Please. Hand goes up, right? No work lifts us out of our shared humanity. We've all done this, right? Where you wake up on Monday morning and you're like, what the hell did I do this weekend? You ever done that? That's because you didn't do the weekend with intention. And it could have been, I'm freaking staying in bed all day. I am ordering DoorDash. I am not freaking moving. That's intention. You can do that. You just want to do it with intention because sometimes we need to relax like that. You know, I have a client I'm working with right now. She is working so hard. She is so burnt out. And that's why she hired me because she's trying to create something new. And oh my God, we're so excited. She's doing a great job. And when she first came to me, she was so upset with herself because on the weekends, she couldn't get up off the couch. That was not a nice to have. She could not. Why? Massive burnout. How many of you guys can relate, right? Yeah, like massive burnout, like flip. Like, oh my God, I'm so fried. I'm so burned out. I cannot get up off the couch. That wasn't because she was being lazy. But what do you think she told herself? You're being so lazy. You're being so lazy. Get up. Do you think that's helpful? Mm-mm. So instead of vegging out on the couch and being pissed about it or feeling guilty about it, we flipped that. So we made it intentional. We're like, from the hours of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the weekends, you are not allowed to get off the couch. Well, all of a sudden it got really easy at 11 to get up. Why? Because she paid attention to how much time she allowed herself to replenish. And it was what she needed, but because she was focused on it, because she used the power of now to recognize she was replenishing, she was healing from the burnout. She was using that time wisely and she flipped off like the garbage TV, which we all know we like sometimes, but she flipped that off because it wasn't intentional and laid there and started listening to podcasts and reading fun, cheesy novels because that made her feel good. But it was quiet. And that's what she needed to heal. And it was intentional, it was focused, and she was using the power of the current moment to give herself what she actually needed instead of mindlessly, which we've all done, right? I don't say that with judgment. This is for all of us. This is the number one block to having the life you really want, right? The mindless slip underneath consciousness. Do you know what I'm talking about? That slip where you go, phew, and you're like watching Love Island and it's 8 hours later and you're like, what? Did that just add to my life? Did that contribute to my growth, to my personal development? Or do I feel like crap now? And sometimes it's fun, sure, but just do it with intention. Don't slip under the node of consciousness and expect yourself to feel better. You won't. And one of the reasons I've really come to believe that's why I call this the number one block. I think one of the reasons we feel crappy after moments like that is because we know we just gave away our power. And I'm not talking about just giving away your power as a woman, as a business owner, giving away your power by not noticing your money. Sure, all of those things, but giving away the power to take action for what you want right now. And listen, what you want might be rest. What you want might be the best vacation. What you want might be a really in depth conversation with your children. Those are all beautiful, wonderful things. Just do them with intention. But that feeling that we just let all those minutes slide, we just were careless with the precious time that we have. That is why we actually feel awful after a moment of slipping under consciousness. Is this making sense? Yeah, I know, right? It's so you're like, oh, so wait, I can relax with intention. Please do. Please do. You guys know I am anti hustle. I don't want you out there hustling, but I do want you to recognize what you want and then start to move towards it gently, slowly. There's no race here, but use the moments that you have on planet Earth to create the life that you actually want, not to slip under consciousness when things get hard. We'll talk about that more in just a second. Yeah. Okay. All right. So moving on. Now we know the number one block, right, to really creating the life you want is not being present. Just to sum up. Yeah. So how do we actually know what we really want? How do we actually start creating a life that we want? If we know we got to be present to do that, what do we do? Well, one of the first things we want to do is help release the past. And that you're like, Walton, simmer down over there. I know this is like a tall order, right? Like, but you got to do it. So what I want you to do is notice what you loved about the past. Remember, I brought up sitting on the airplane. Yeah, it's like that used to be fun, you guys. Used to be really fun. I used to have to travel. I was raised in Salt Lake City, but my father lived in Los Angeles. From the time I was 18 months old until I was 18, I was going back and forth between those two cities. The great news is it's an hour and 25-minute flight. It was fine. But sometimes I was alone, right? I'd be a lonely traveler. Yay, young travelers. God, that was fun. I'd get little wings. I'd get a little pin. They'd bring me a special bag of peanuts. It was peanuts. I know. Can you imagine? They like did all this fun stuff. There was actually room in the seat, right? The people next to me were in a good mood. You could actually walk up to the plane and say goodbye to the people you love. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was so much fun. So much fun. I love that. Right? So I don't want to let that go. But what about it did I love? I loved the human connection of it. I loved the excitement of the travel, knowing I was about to see somebody I loved and the change in environment. You guys, Utah is so dry. Where are all my Utah peeps? I love you guys. It is so dry. I remember I would get off the plane in LA and be like, God, it's so humid here. All of us on the East Coast, big hair, are now laughing, right? It's like, that's not humid, but it was to me, right? That feeling when I'd walk off onto the ramp and be like, oh, I'm in LA, I can feel the air finally, right? Like it was so great. So there was the magic of that, the change of environment, the change of pace, the joy of connecting with a flight attendant. They would actually talk to us and have conversations. It was so fun. And there are some airlines working on that now. Thank you. We love you for that, right? But it's really noticing, what did I love? What did I love? And making note of what matters to me. So I want you to take a second right now. I want you to start to think of things you missed. Not missed. That's funny. Think of things you miss now. Think of things you wish you had that you'd had before. Why? What was it that you loved? What made you happy? I want you to right now, honest to God, please take a second, sit down. Right. What made you happy? If you are working out right now, if you're on a walk, if you're doing other things, good on you. I like it. And I want you to take a second, type it in the notes app on your phone. What did you love about the memories that constantly pull you out of the present moment? What is it? And you'll find as you write these down that you'll start to feel them again. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll just give you a hot second. Yeah. As you guys come in, please say hi. I see you guys here, but I want to say hi to you. I love you. Oh my goodness. Okay. You got that? So usually I'm going to guess, okay, what you loved about something in the past is that it made you feel light and happy, probably had you feel connected to others, made you feel safe, protected. For some of us, it just made us laugh. Hey, Alex, so good to see you. It just like made us laugh, right? It just, you could not, those times with your girlfriends when you are laughing and then somebody says something else and adds on and y'all laugh harder. And then somebody says something else and pretty soon you're all just laughing because you can't stop laughing, right? The best, right? What is that feeling for you? Is it joy? Is it connection? Is it love? Because those moments, that's what's getting generated, right? Like that feeling of just sheer joy, happiness, connection, and feeling seen and heard, right? Because you're all experiencing that together. So you feel that together. You get to just be yourself and laugh so hard you cry, right? Like what a joy. I want you to be aware of those emotions because when we're pulling ourselves up out of reality, when we're giving away the power that we have to do what we want to do right now, the only time we ever have is right now. When we pull ourselves out of that and we resist reality, it's because we're chasing one of those. We're chasing that feeling again. And there's nothing wrong with having a memory of that. But I want you to come back soon so you can take your power back and keep acting right now. And maybe what there is for you to act on is to call your friends and get the next date scheduled so you can have more of that experience. And just doing that action will bring it to you right now. Isn't that great? So it's like we want to use where our brain pulls us, where we avoid reality, notice that, and then pull the good in as fast as you can. Now let's flip that the other way. Okay. Let's say so this is so like common, right? Again, please know today's Coffee with Coach is a no judgment zone. Coffee with Coach is always a no judgment zone, right? We're talking about our shared humanity. We're talking about what we really want, and we're talking about how to get it in real life without made up, guru magical entrepreneur porn, right? Like we're talking about real stuff. So one of the other things that so many of us do is get anxiety about the future. So if you're currently feeling anxious, chances are you're focused on what might happen. Does that make sense? I think we can all relate to that, right? You're going through a rough time in your family. You get anxious because you're like, oh my God, what if they get mad about this? How do I talk about that? Right. And you're working up the anxiety about what might happen. So I want you to do the same thing here. I want you to think about what those feelings are. What are the worries? Because if we break that down, the example I just gave, just because it's so common, right? You can use your own life and start to pull this in and make it fit for you. Is let's say, there is a big family disagreement, right? And maybe what you're worried about is that they're going to misunderstand you. And so if you are missing understanding, what you want to do is make sure you understand everyone else because now you're putting understanding into the situation. What? I know, right? Isn't that cool? If you are afraid they're going to hurt you, there's an absence of love. Right? We know fear and love, right? So if there is a fear, there will be pain. There is an absence of love and maybe security. So put that in. And it could be that you need to call a friend and say, remind me why you love me again. That's cool. That works. That's an action you can take right now to put love into the situation. Are you seeing this? Let's pretend you're anxious about the holiday numbers in your business. Yeah. You're worried that enough people aren't going to know about you. You're worried you're not going to hit your goals. Well, what's missing? Probably, I'm going to assert this, right? An understanding of numbers. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about your marketing numbers, an understanding of how many people need to see what you're offering in order for you to hit your goals. If you put that back in, this is called planning, right? So there's a lack of planning because you're just throwing it out there and hope it works, right? And that can cause so much anxiety. So instead, let's back into it. Let's get some numbers. Is this making sense? Let's plan. There's a lack of planning. Put the planning in. And all of a sudden, the security will come in. And then it's like, there's actions I need to take to hit that number of people seeing what I'm offering so I can hit my revenue goals. Is this making sense? Right? And all of that, when are you taking action? So it doesn't matter if it's a fear about family, if it's fear about your health, right? Maybe you just got that diagnosis, right? And you're like, oh dear God, right? What's missing in that moment is security. What do you need to feel secure? And if you say that instead of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you can start taking actions when? Right now to help yourself feel more secure about what's possible. Making sense? So none of this is big, huge, dramatic. This is about slow, easy steps that you're taking in the moment to pull yourself back here and not projecting into the future, which honestly, none of us even know anyway, right? But we can imagine, We can look at the past and imagine what'll happen in the future. We still don't fully know. And if we can imagine where the anxiety has come from and what we feel is missing, we can start putting it in now, not tomorrow, not in that conversation or that month when you're worried, right? Or whatever. Now, what do I need to feel secure, loved, happy, safe? Like I'm being strategic. What do I need now to feel that way? Is making sense? Because the only time you have to act is right now. Yeah. Let me know if you guys have any questions about that. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about, hold on, let me just grab my notes. I know I'm pretty good, but I still need notes. All right. So what I would like you to do now is let's create a crystal clear path for August. Okay. You guys know how we do this. Let's go. It's Coffee with Coach. You know, I'm never not going to make you work. There's always a theme for every month. So in August, you are going to practice being as present as you possibly can, enjoying the past and pulling those feelings in now by creating events or journaling or calling the people you love, whatever, right? And then moving forward, oh, what am I anxious about? What am I projecting out in the future? Where do I not feel safe and secure? And we're going to put all that into your plans for August. Yeah. Okay. So right now, we're going to start the way we always start when we are making plans together in the world of Sarah Walton. We say, how do I want to feel come August 31st? How do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? You're going to use the clues from the past, all those things I had you write down. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel loved, connected, ambitious? Do you want to feel like you've accomplished a lot? Do you want to feel like you're successful? Do you want to feel like you have the best friend group on planet Earth? Do you want to feel uber healthy? What do you want to feel come August 31st? Go ahead, write that down. Let's go. How do you want to feel come the end of August? And again, if you're running around, use the memo app on your phone or write notes in your notes on your phone. If you're at the gym, walking, multitasking, like we all do, it's okay. Okay, now the next thing I want you to outline for August, because I promise you crystal clear plans for this month. Yeah. So you're going to write down how you want to feel. And then I want you to write down what you're feeling anxious about in the future. And it could also be, what are you looking forward to? And the reason I say what it's looking for, what I mean when I say what you're looking forward to is sometimes we'll give up the present moment because we're going on vacation next week, right? So we're like daydreaming. And we're losing all of this present moment to make the life that we want because we're projecting that by then I'll be happy. You guys know this game, right? When I make this much, then I'll be happy. When I do this, then I'll be happy, right? No. Now. Be happy now. So I want you to think about either what you're looking forward to or what is causing anxiety, just so you're aware. And then what I want you to do next to those, I know this is a bit, so you're going to write down what you're anxious about. You know, it could be, I'm anxious about those numbers. Maybe you do have a physical coming up. You're like, no, let me check in on that. Maybe you have a family reunion coming and Uncle Joe is a jerk. I don't know. Like, I want you to write down all the things you're anxious about. Yeah. What do you need? What is missing that you can put in that can alleviate that anxiety so you can be present now? What is missing that you can put in so you can alleviate that anxiety when? Oh, right now. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Now I want you to also note, what are you looking forward to? And how can you create that feeling right now? What are you looking forward to? If you like, let's use the vacation example again, right? Like, are you looking forward to laying on the beach and having no one talk to you while you sip a pina colada? Okay, good. What is that feeling? Most of us would say peace. Yeah. Peace and just contentment, right? Like, oh my God, can I just sit there and like feel the sun on my skin and just be, right? Yeah. Can you do that now? Can you give yourself that for 2 minutes today? Go sit, I don't know, in your backyard, in the local park, whatever, right? Can you create that right now? Let's stop living life in moments that aren't there. The future is not here. The past is gone. The only thing we have is now. So can you create that now so you can be here in this moment with us? Can you create that now so that you can be here for your work today? Can you create that now so you can stoke your own ambition for what you want to do in the future? Can you create that now so you can be here? Because we can generate feelings. I could tell you right now, pretend you're scared. We could all Mimic that. And just by mimicking it, you can start to feel it. What if I say, get relaxed and happy? You can start to feel that now. You have total power there. And we give it away by imagining what might happen or feeling nostalgic for things that have already passed. So come back here and create those moments as you need now so you can be here now. And then there will be the moment on the beach and you'll savor that. Flip out of it. Okay. All right, good. So if we look at these things, we're looking at how you want to feel by the end of August. We're looking at the things that are making you feel anxious and what you can put in to relieve that anxiety now. And then we're looking at anything you're looking forward to and how you can generate the feeling you're seeking now. Okay. So let's look at these three pieces. What do you need to accomplish by the end of August to cause these feelings? If you look at how you want to feel, what do you need to do by the end of August to cause it? Go. What do you need to do? Do you need to make sure your marketing plans for September are done? Do you need to make sure everyone else in the house is doing their laundry repeatedly? You're not doing a damn thing. Do you need to make sure your meal plans are done? Do you need to make sure you hire a trainer? Do you need to make sure you get that project actually signed to someone on your team, or that you know what the tasks are for you? Yeah, this is what I mean. This is how we create life, guys. And when are we doing this again? Oh, right now. Amazing, right? Like you're going to do it right now. That's the only time you can ever do anything is right now. Oh, and right now. Oh, and now. Yeah, that's it. That's the only time we have. Cool. The infinite, ever present, eternal now. Okay. No, I have one bonus exercise for you guys right now because, I always throw in stuff because I can't help it. I want you to think about, this is different from anxiety, okay? I want you to think about a challenge you're facing, a challenge. It could be, I'm going to use something small that feels huge to some people, right? You want to learn how to like be extemporaneous on the camera, like just sit in front of a camera and talk. You want to learn how to do that. You don't know how it scares the bejesus out of you. Yeah, that's a challenge. And it's calling you to grow. So that's what challenges do. They call you into growth. It's very different from imagining a scenario and working yourself up and feeling anxious. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a challenge is now, right? I need this skill and I'm terrified. I need to have this really sweaty conversation and I don't want to. Yeah. I need to move and I don't want to deal with everything I have to do to get that done. Those are challenges. Yeah. Not so much huge, massive anxiety, but a challenge. Something you're like, I don't want to do that. Don't want to. Now, I want you to pick one. For a lot of people right now, for whatever reason, I'm not sure. I'm just kind of watching the pulse of the world right now. It's the 10-minute sweaty conversation that you don't want to have. Maybe you need to let someone on your team go. Maybe you need to talk to your spouse about what's really going on for you. Maybe you found drugs in your kid's room. Maybe you need to tell Uncle Joe to take a hike. Whatever it is, there's, in the United States, like I was saying, there's political conversations, 10-minute sweaty conversation, right? Like you need to have that conversation. You know what it is. I know. I've literally like felt the penny drop. People are like, flip, she's talking about that one. Yeah, that's the one. For most people, it's one 10-minute sweaty conversation. And I want you to remember that your best life is usually on the other side of one 10-minute sweaty conversation. The life you actually want, the life you've been dreaming of, chances are it's on the other side of a 10-minute sweaty conversation. And here's the thing, when we face difficulty, when we face any kind of pain, discomfort, challenge, we start to gain mastery over pain, challenge, discomfort. And you know what's possible on the other side of mastering those? Everything you've ever wanted. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of that discomfort, that pain, that challenge, that growth. We want to master these things. We don't want to run from them. The more that we run, the more we're living out of integrity, meaning you're not aligned with who you really are. You are not acting and conducting yourself in this moment in a way that is true to who you actually are. You're running from it. And that alone will cause anxiety. So I want you to think about that challenge. I want you to think about a 10-minute sweaty conversation. And it could be something else. It could be like you're doing a project you've never done at work before and you're really challenged by it. Awesome. Then that's your thing for August. Great. Face it. Do it. Run towards it, not away from it, so you can recognize how strong you actually are. So I want you to pick that thing right now and write it down. And what you should have now is a crystal clear plan for August by acting now. Yeah. Constantly all throughout this month, bring yourself back to now. What do I need to put in so the anxiety goes away? And what did I love about the past that I keep pulling myself towards? And how do I create that now? Yeah. Okay. And then I want you to pick that challenge and I want you to freaking go for it. The game is on. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful August. No, I love you to bits. I am so impressed with you guys showing up, doing the things you know you need to do. And you know your coach is here with you. Yeah. All right, you guys, I will see you in September where we're going to be talking about leveling up your peer group. Oh, it's going to be a good one. All right, guys. Bye.